The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
And at the end of the day, the consumer looks immensely strong. So much so that many people are willing to quit their jobs. They've got so much in savings.
Unbelievable. Can you imagine the fake Business News Network making that kind of comment? The people are going to, they got so much money now. So much money that they don't have to work. I mean, I had to listen to this twice. I go, what? What did I just hear?
And at the end of the day, the consumer looks immensely strong. So much so that many people are willing to quit their jobs. They've got so much in savings.
Unbelievable. Then why do we need the Biden, his program, all the different programs? Why did we need the Trump's CARES Act program, for God's sakes? If that's the case, why are we sending out people $1,400 checks? And why is it that Biden, he's trying to make sure those $1,400 checks get right back into the program he's trying to get passed now? I mean, this is insane. I mean, they'll just say anything. This is crazy. So, I mean, think about it. All the money that we have put in to these different programs. And now Powell. I mean, it just blows my mind. The CARES Act, $2.2 trillion. So let's think about this for a minute. So the CARES Act, we had to put $2.2 trillion in. Now, that was an injection. Remember what they were doing? They were putting money in. You got your $1,400 check, and then they turned around and they gave money to people so they, not only the $1,400 check, but you could not have to pay your rent. They would subsidize. It was $10 billion. They printed $10 billion so you could subsidize rent. You could subsidize your mortgage payment. They printed $500,000 to help small businesses. Now, if the small business guy has so much in savings he can retire, why would he have to give him $500 million? If these savers have so much money, why did we have to give them $10 billion to subsidize their rent? This was in 2021. This is unbelievable. Why do we have to give each child $2,000 or $3,600? Or the $1,400 check for individuals, or $20 for married people. It's a lie. Now, what's Biden doing here now in January? He wants to pass the American Family Plan. He's having trouble getting that through. And he's going to take those same programs and put them in, the ones I just spoke about, in this new American Family Plan that he wants to pass. Or AKA reconciliation plan. He hasn't gotten passed yet. Because Manchin won't pass it. Because he feels like I do, I hope. This is nuts. So if people have that kind of savings, where people in this country don't have to work anymore, why are we going to do this all over again? Anyways, it just drove me nuts. Just drove me crazy. All right, so let's get to the market. So yesterday, do you remember I told you that watch the market, and I said if it breaks, this is while it was rallying, I said if the market starts breaking under 470 on the S&P, just look under 470. If it drops under 470, that means she's in trouble. if the market starts to drop below 468 or 466, it's in real trouble, because then it's going through this, it's near, a big support. A big support. And so the market did drop. And it did, but now it's sitting right around that 469, right below that 470. And I told my members, I don't want to break right now. I don't want to go down any further. See, I want to go back up and test the high at 480. Remember, we had a high. Let me just make sure I get this number right. We had a high around 480. That's right, 480, and that was on January 4th. So I'd like to see it go from as low of 465 that it reached today. I like to see it go back up and test that 480. Here's why it's important. So let's say it goes back up to test that 480 and it can't get through 480. Let's say it stops at 477 or 475. Say it stops at 475. That gives you a lower high. That means if it fails to break out through 480 and she only can get as far as 475, that means there's not enough buyers, not enough action, not enough energy to push it up through. What's going to happen, everybody will panic and start selling, like yelling fire in a theater. And then they're going to take out that low today of 465. And if you take out that low of 465, you'd be taking out the key support, what we call the 50-day moving average, just a line that tells you where all the support is, where all the buyers are. And if you take those buyers out, they become sellers. So this market's in a real predicament. So now they're trying to figure out what to do here. So yesterday they turned around, and what set it off, this selling, was that they read the minutes of the meeting of Powell and the board, and they're saying, let's start raising rates quicker. We got to raise rates quicker. And investors panic because they remember what happened in 2018 when they tried that. What are you, nuts? See, let's go back to 2000 to find out why this market dropped yesterday and today. You got to go back to 2018. Because in 2018, remember what happened. From 2008, if you go back to 2008, 2009, remember, they decided, being G.W. Bush, Baby Bush, and Obama, not to go into recession. Let's talk about that for a second. That's crazy. Every crash, after every crash, you automatically want to put it into a recession. Why? Because it's kind of a cleansing. In other words, in 2000, we lost $8 trillion in value. $8 trillion in value. So when you lose $8 trillion in value on your balance sheet, and that filters down from the economy down to everybody, from the government, you lose money on your balance sheet, $8 trillion. You don't want to carry the debt. So if you had let's say just for a second, you got $100 billion in debt going in before the market crashes. Now the market crashes and you lose $8 trillion in value, and you got on your balance sheet a lot of bad assets, non-performing assets. You got all this debt of $100 billion, and you lost $8 trillion. You got to be nuts to say, okay, I'm not going to cleanse that bad debt. I'm not going to reduce that bad debt. I'm not going to cleanse and get rid of all the bad paper and bad notes and non-performing assets. I'm just going to keep them all, even though I lost $8 trillion. Now, who would do that? Obama and Baby Bush. The first time anybody would do it. It doesn't make any sense, right? Well, I'll tell you why they did it and why we have the problem today.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Remember, when this market crashed in 2009, it should have never crashed because the chairperson of these two committees, their job was to protect consumers, protect our investments, and they're supposed to ensure that our investments are being monitored. Where were they in 2009 and 2008? They weren't anywhere because they don't do that. They take care of themselves. They protect themselves. They become richer. So you can't depend on these crooks in Congress. The stock market is a great place to be, but you just got to know this is a different market than your grandfather's market. So why don't you, for 30 days, join my gang, 877-600-GANG. Try it for 30 days, $39.95. Follow me. I tell you when to buy, when to sell, when to add, and when to run like hell. All I ask you, start making money. Please remember St. Jude.
Don't wait. Join Phil's Gang today and make profits. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. And that's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG.
Thinking about investing in the stock market? Go to philsgang.com, where we have over 50 years experience in trading and investing in the stock market. Phil's Gang teaches you how to make profits in the market with stock chart analysis, up-to-the-minute alerts, and always keeping you informed with professional guidance in long and short-term positions. Go to philsgang.com or call one of our professional staff to answer your questions. 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Stop wondering about your financial future and start doing something about it.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Welcome back. Learn, invest, and make profits with Phil Grande. Simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
NASDAQ was the day's big loser, plunging more than 3%. The Federal Reserve sent shockwaves through the markets with the release of its latest minutes. It's not normally a market mover. It was this time. Committee members clearly had a long discussion about unwinding its $9 trillion balance sheet, with participants expressing different views on timing of the tapering and the impact on the economy. Some members felt strongly that the economy called for a faster path to raising rates.
And that's what did it. Now, let me explain why. Because you got to go back to 2018. In fact, you got to go back further than that. You got to go back to 2008. And then you can figure out what's going to happen going forward. And this is what we do here at Phil's Gang. We do this for our members. I told our members the other day, when we came back on January 3rd, Monday, I said it's going to be a very volatile week. I sent them an alert, and also in my class, I showed them, I said, after this market rallied, I showed them how the rally was what we call a divergence rally over the holiday, where stocks were going up, the bank stocks, but there was a problem with them. The amount of energy or volume wasn't there. So as the stock's moving up, your volume's going down. So I said to them, and I warned them, I said, if this market rallies and it breaks its rally and drops below 470, be very careful. It did exactly what I said it was going to do, drop below 470. Today it's 468. Then I said, if it drops below 466, then you're going to get a big correction. But in the meantime, they're going to play every game they can to try to push it from 466 to 467 back up to where we were on 480 back on January 4th. They're going to play every game they can do that. And I hope they do, because it's going to fail. And when it fails, then you get the big correction. Because now when it comes back down and takes out that low, takes out today's low, which is around 465. That'll take out the 50-day moving average, which if you don't know what that means, that's support. That'll give way to a big, big correction. Now, let's explain why this happened. Because if you understand going back to 2008 and 2009, after the market crashed, what they did is they turned around and they decided not to do a recession. Now, not doing a recession is insane, because like 2000, and just use 2000 as an example, they lost $8 trillion in value. When you lose $8 trillion of value in the market on your balance sheet, the country, the problem is you also have on your balance sheet the debt. The debt didn't go down, but your value went down. You don't want to take the debt with you take that debt with you going forward when your value, you're already down in a hole 10 trillion. You also don't want to take with you bad assets, non-performing assets, bad credits. That's insane. Why would you take your debt that you still have and bring it forward? You want to cleanse it because you're in the hole 10 trillion. Nobody's done that. Only two people did it. G.W. Bush, after the market crash 2008, he decided he would not go into recession because it would take the banks down. Obama, who was coming into office at the same time, about that same time, he didn't want him to go into a recession because it would take the banks down. Well, the banks should have been taken down, but they weren't. So they made a plan. They didn't want to take the banks down because, remember, both of them were put in office because of the banks, just like Hillary Clinton. All that money came from the banks. So they were obligated. So they turned around and said, let's use the banks. We'll go in, we'll print all kinds of money, and we'll go in and we'll buy from the banks. The Federal Reserve will buy from the banks all their bad loans, their housing loans, subprime loans, and all the other bad loans they have. We'll buy them, all that, and put it on our balance sheet, which at the time was $800 billion. Today, $9 trillion. We'll buy all that bad stuff, and then we'll credit their checking account with 100 cents on the dollar, even though the mortgage that we bought is worth maybe $1,000. I mean, some mortgages were they had $200,000 mortgages that were worth $5,000, but they paid them the $200,000. All right, so let's move forward. So they finally got all those banks. They save them. They take all the money, and they said, "Okay, now take the money. Now you got money." And I told you this just the other day. They told them, do not go and loan money to Main Street. Do not loan to the people who are struggling with their houses. Do not loan to small businesses. We want you to go in and use that money to buy your own shares. To buy your own shares so we can push the stock market up. Start buying the bank stocks. And that's what they did. And the bank stocks shot up 163% in 4 months. Isn't that nuts? When these banks should have been tubed. But how'd they get there? Because they bought their own stock. Next, the Fed turns around and they drop interest rates to zero with a QE program. Keep printing and printing and printing and printing and keep printing all this money to drop interest rates to zero. So now with rates at zero, low rates, the banks with all this money, okay, again, can keep buying their own shares. They're getting money that's free. And then other corporations would start doing the same thing. See how it all started? But to do this, you had to keep printing money, printing money, printing money. So soon you had the bank go up you had the banks go up 163% in 4 months. And you had the S&P go up 58%, and you had the big tech stocks. The big tech stocks went up, I think it was about 147%, which they otherwise would have never done. So you start out with a total fake market, and you got all that debt on your balance sheet. When I get back, I'll explain why the market went down. It all started with this. Join my gang, free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down. It keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now are the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days. When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
When the market's open, we watch the market all day long. And when we see there's an opportunity for a stock, and it's a stock that we've been following, there's a lot of stocks we put on our watch list, and it has to hit a certain criteria. Then when it does, we alert you. You immediately get an alert that says, we bought this stock, X stock, at $30. So you get an alert immediately. What's better than that? I mean, nobody does that for you. But the most important thing, they'll say, okay, here's why we're getting out now, or here's why we're taking profits. I think it's going to go down. Look, the most important thing is this. I want you to be prepared for when the market does tank or rally, that you're with us, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG. Join my gang right now, Phil's Gang. 877-600-GANG, and you'll be in position, and you'll sleep at night, and you don't have to worry.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
We have some of the strongest economic growth underlying this economic recovery that we've seen in decades.
Oh, really? Let me give you some numbers. While the market was going up 2019, about 25%, 2020, about 25%. Our earnings growth went negative 14%. Same thing going into 2021. These people just lie. But let's get back to why this market is starting a crash and why it went down yesterday. Real simple. Because from 2008 to 2018, the market rallied. It was all fake. It was because they printed all this money to do stock buybacks. They printed all this money to plug into the banks, plug into the hedge funds, plug into the brokers. It was all printing. Yes, the market went up. I mean, look at the banks. This is amazing. Remember, the banks always lead. So after the crash, they had to get the banks to lead, and the banks went up in 4 months, 163% after that 2008 crash. You think they went up because of earnings? No, they went up because they bought bank stocks. I told you how that worked. The Federal Reserve bought all the bad loans from the big banks, the 5 biggest banks, plugged money into their reserve accounts, or let's call them checking accounts. And they had them go out and buy their own stock. Stock moved up in 4 months, 163%. Then they turned around and they had them start buying tech stocks, because what they were doing is they also turned around and they printed about $34 trillion, and the Fed went in and bought 10-year Treasury yields to drop the interest rates down to zero so they could start pushing the tech stocks up. Because remember, they want to keep yields low to push the tech stocks up. So after they got their own bank stocks up 163% in 4 months, not doing anything, no profits, nothing, 163% in 4 months, now they turned around and they ran the tech stocks up 80% in 4 months. Imagine this. And they weren't making money. Nobody was making money. No earnings, no profits, no top line growth, nothing. That's how they did that. So now let's go from, now they said, well, we were only going to do this for a short period of time. But after they did the first QE1, QE2, the twist, and QE3, they did that from 2008 to 2012, and they identified that they didn't have to have profits to move the market 131%. Just like they didn't need to have profits to move the banks 163% in 4 months off the bottom of 2008. And they didn't need to have profits in the big tech stocks to move the big tech stocks off the bottom in 4 months, 80%. So they said, wait a minute, let's keep doing this. Let's keep doing this. By the time they got to when Trump took over, and by the time they reached 2018, the market was soaring. The market was up. I think from 2000 and give me that, Willie, if you got it. I think from 2008 to 2018, I think the market was up about 130%. Now, they came out, and remember, Trump says, let's turn around and we're going to do tax cuts. And if we do tax cuts, we're going to have economic growth going crazy. Now remember, the market by now is up, it's 2018, up 130%. It's not up because of earnings growth, not up because of profits. It's all stock buybacks. Nothing underneath this market but sand. And so then he says, you know what we're going to do? Because we're going to cut rates. We're going to make tax cuts. We're going to have economic growth so big. And Powell says, okay, we got a problem here, Mr. President. Remember, we took this market from 2008. Here we are, 2018, and all of this money we're printing, we're creating a tremendous amount of inflation. Gasoline's going up, food's going up, everything's going up. Our wages aren't going up because when we print more money, and we're printing more money, and our printing is outpacing our productivity is dropping. But when if it's outpacing, your printing's outpacing your productivity, prices go up, Mr. President. And look at the prices going up. Now remember, this was 2018 before the 2020 collapse because they called COVID, right? They turned around, cut the tax rates, boom, it didn't work. They raised the rates. In 2018, they said, okay, let's raise rates. Let's do a tapering. Let's raise rates. We can do it now because we got these tax cuts and we're going to have such economic growth. And the minute he raised rates, the market tumbled 20% in 2018. They cut rates immediately. Cut rates, had 3 cuts, boom, boom, boom. Bought more and more. Treasuries drop interest rates to zero to keep pushing up the big tech stocks. Because remember, the only way you can push tech stocks up is by having yields low. And they've been doing that since 2008. So yesterday, when they made the announcement, hey, let's accelerate our tax hikes and our tapering. And Wall Street goes, wait a minute. This is deja vu all over again. Are you kidding me? You did this in 2018, you idiots. You did this in 2018 and the market dropped 20% because the market went up with no economic growth. The market went up with no real earnings. It's all going up because of all this QE and stock buybacks. So that's why yesterday, boom, the market dropped. So now there's a problem. Powell's in a position, if he's going to try to move this market back up after it fell yesterday and try to make new highs, if he keeps raising yields that pushes up the banks to lead, that's very bad for the economy. Because if you start he's trying to push the bank stocks up now. And to push the bank stocks up, you got to push interest rates up. That's the only thing that drives your bank stocks. If you're in bank stocks, you want yields going up. So, but the problem is since 2008, and remember what happened, the excuse they used on February 2020, the reason that the market crashed because of this COVID and because of all the docks and they can't get enough goods out and there's more money there's more goods than they can. The goods are all tied up at the docks. We can't get goods out. So we got all this money chasing few goods. Well, wait a minute. That didn't happen then. They used that as an excuse. Thank God they had COVID. They could mask what's been happening since 2008. That's what panicked them. You see, when that crash happened, February 2020 to March 20, it went down the fastest ever, 31% in 4 days. But remember, they're trying to say it's because of the holdup in products at the docks. No. Yes, there was some of that, but it already started. Prices already started to go up on gasoline, started to go up on beef, started to go up on chicken and clothing and prescription drugs. All started to go up since 2008. Because you can't just keep printing money to keep buying, to buy your own stocks. The consequences is that inflation. So now the problem is, what do? You join my gang. You join my gang because we'll make sure, just like when we came back on Monday, we're in the right stocks. And if the market goes down, my gang's going to make money, even more money, on the way down. Let me reach out to you, and when you make money, when this market crashes or goes up, please help St. Jude. Free for 10 days. Check it out, 877-600-GANG.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
What, are you nuts? If the stock market can make you so rich, especially Apple and Microsoft and Google and Amazon and the rest, why are so many Americans poor? If the 401k promises you a retirement, then why is it we are in a retirement crisis? Here's the answer. Because 85% of you get out of the market too late. I fixed that with my color-coded chart, which tells you when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out. That's right, when to run like hell. Check it out. You get a free membership and the free color-coded chart for 10 days. Check it out, philsgang.com.
Did you know breast cancer kills 113 people every day? That's unacceptable.
African American women from breast cancer, nearly 41% more than Caucasian women.
That's unacceptable.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of all cancer deaths for Hispanic women.
Breast cancer is unacceptable.
Together with Susan G. Komen, we're committed to reducing U.S. breast cancer deaths by half.
And we're going to do it by 2026.
Visit Komen.org/unacceptable.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You probably heard me on the radio talking about investing in stocks and trading stocks. Well, this is a special message that I am sending out to you. You, the person who is the beginner, who are getting excited. You're seeing every day the stock market going up, never comes down, keeps going up because of the tremendous stimulus that the president is putting into this market. He wants to continue this market going up while the economy's going down. That's what it's doing. The economy's going straight down. You know, banks right now, the worst ever. They've gone down 40%. I mean, everything's going down. Companies aren't making money, but the stock market's still going up. And you got to be very, very careful when you get into a market like this. You got to know when to get out, and that's where we come in. So if you're a beginner and you want to start learning how to invest stocks properly and have the comfort level of knowing when to get out, when to buy, when to sell, and when to get out, contact us at philsgang.com. Join today, free for 10 days.
Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let philsgang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. Welcome back. Are you ready to make profits in the stock market? Why not check out philsgang.com or give us a call, 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Please join my gang, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264. Join for 10 days. It's free. During that 10-day time, you are going to learn how to make money when the market drops, as well as when it goes up, of course. 80% of people lose money because they don't know how to make money when the market drops. Isn't that terrible? That's crazy. 401ks are insane. They don't allow you to make money when the market drops. Remember, every stock market crash, it's a business cycle. We have business cycles. They're natural. And when everything starts peaking, you get a crash. All of a sudden, manufacturing, production, new orders, employment, they all start peaking. And when they peak, you get the crash. And then you make sure you have a recession to clean your balance sheet up so that the value lost in your crash, you don't take forward, the debt. If you lost value in the crash, 12, 8, $10 trillion, you don't want to take with you the debt that you had on your balance sheet when your value dropped. If you had $100 billion in debt in the market and your value dropped 8 to 10 trillion, to get a recovery, how are you going to get a recovery if you're going to carry forward with you that same debt and all the bad and all the other bad things on your balance sheet? Everybody knows that. That's why you go into recession. It's not a bad thing. It's hurtful, but it's a short hurt. And once you get it behind you, you come out of it like a rocket ship. But see, they didn't want to do that because they owed the banks, both Bush and Obama, and then Hillary Clinton. That's why we didn't go into the recession. So if you take from 2008 up to 2018, by then, the only thing that's pushing the market is low rates. Because what pushes the market? When we talk to market, we're talking about the S&P. What pushes the S&P? It's tech stocks. Tech stocks, they push the S&P. Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, NVIDIA. Every time there's a rally, they create or participate, or I should say contribute 37%. Because they do that by keeping interest rates at zero. And these tech stocks love zero rates, and everybody buys them. But the problem is when you keep rates too low for too long, since 2008, for 14 years, to keep making a lot of money that's going to the 1 percentile, the 90% of the folks on Main Street don't get anything from it except high gas prices, high food prices, high clothing prices, insurance prices. That's what happens when we went from 2008 to 2018. And then finally, Trump says, I'm going to cut corporate taxes. We're going to grow our economy out of this mess that Obama and GW created by not going into a recession. So he cuts tax rates, thinking we're going to grow. They start tapering. They raise the rates. Market goes down 20%. Bam! They panic. They cut rates 3. Boom, boom, boom. Rates down. What starts moving again? Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, NVIDIA, Facebook, even Tesla. Pushing the spiders back up. Now we go from 2018 up to 2014. But by then, all the inflation from 2008 is already pushing up gas, already pushing up beef, already pushing up 2014. Just happens to be at that same time that the pandemic hit. And then that's when we had a problem at the docks. And when we had all the problems at the docks, it made it worse. It was the trigger. It wasn't the cause. The cause was from 2008. Keeping rates at zero for too long. They keep pushing up the tech stocks to push the stock market up so the 1% can make all the money. And then when Trump tried to straighten it out in 2018 by raising rates, boom, it went down. So yesterday they read the minutes of the meetings, and the Fed has never done anything right in their life. The Federal Reserve has never made a right decision. Never made a right decision. So now they said, okay, let's do what we did in 2018. What? The market panicked, and boom, the market dropped like a flying monkey. Now, here we are sitting here, and you got panicked Powell, and you got our president. They're all panicked. They don't know what to do. They said, well, wait a minute. If we go and cut rates again, yeah, that'll push up all the big tech stocks. It will push a big rally again. But the problem is gasoline's going to go up and food's going to go up. And we've been doing this for 14 years. And then he says, well, wait a minute. I got to get my bill through. If I get my American plan through, or I can subsidize, if I can send people $1,400, if I can subsidize the children tax with tax credits, if I can... let's subsidize home payments. Let's subsidize rent payments. Let's pay for glasses for people. If we can send them money and keep giving them money, then maybe we can lower rates again, push up the big tech stocks, and keep this market going. I got to get this through. See, that's what's going on. And Manchester said, are you nuts? You're going to just to move the stock market up? You're going to cut rates? And who's getting all the money? The 1 percentile. Remember I told you they split up 15 trillion, the 1%, 127 households out of, 127 million households out of, I think it was, I forget, 347 million households. 1% got all that money, that 15 trillion. So now he doesn't know what to do right now, but we know what to do. My gang knows what to do. And every day, Steve tells my gang what to do every day with the stocks in our portfolio. And it doesn't matter if the market's going to go down. The other day when the market went down, we were making money shorting.
Caterpillar going to continue to hold our shares, light shares, long with a stop at 206.
So he tells you every day. So he posted at 2 o'clock. You come home at night, have your dinner, pop it open, whatever stock you selected to follow us in our portfolio of stocks. You don't have to go to class. You don't do anything. Just follow the instructions. Now, if you want to be more involved, we have the greatest classes. We have the greatest teaching facility in the world, I believe. But if you're one of these folks that say, I just don't have time, this is for you. You just got to know when to get in, when to get out, when to add, when not to add. That's all. You mean you can't 5, 10, 15 minutes at night, you can't open your computer, and if you're following GE, Steve or Caterpillar, you don't have 10, 15 minutes? And then you're making money 20% of the time instead of losing 80% of the time? But the one thing I want you to understand before we close out here today, when you see Apple, okay, in the first 4 months after the 2008 crash, went up 60%. What's that tell you? You see XLK, the big tech stocks, went up 1,200% since 2008. After the 2018 pullback, that 20% drop, because they were going to raise rates. Here we are. They're going to do the same thing again. People are panicking. That's why they're selling. But don't panic. Join my gang. Learn how to short. So if they do raise rates, like they did in 2018, and the market starts going down, crashing 20, 30%, if you're with us, you're going to be making money on the way down. I promise you that. Try it free for 10 days. 877-600-GANG. And all I ask, if you make money, please help St. Jude. You got to understand, every crash is followed by going in and cleaning up a balance sheet. This was the first time they didn't have a recession because they owed the banks. And also Hillary Clinton was running, remember? And she owed the banks. I don't mean money. The banks is what got these guys in office. Well, Hillary didn't win. Look, join my gang so you'll know when to be in the bank stocks, you know when to be in the tech stocks, and when to short. My God, join us and be part of the 20% who makes money consistently, whether the market goes up or goes down. 877-600-GANG. Free for 10 days.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.